Hello, YTPC. So, Irish Cask of Peterson of Dublin. So here's the thing. This, from what I can tell, used to be Irish oak. I was trying to figure out what the difference was. I can't see that there was a whole lot of change. I think it just went to Irish Cask because it is in a sherry oak barrel for which this blend is cured in. So I think that that's what's going on here. But anyway, so this is something I was looking forward to. How to behave to not pop into this just yet. So this is definitely a ribbon cut. I'll say that the moisture content on this is actually quite fine. This is actually where I prefer my tobaccos to be, whether with assistance from me, from drying out or spritzing with a little distilled water. But either way, yeah, this is good. No attention needed. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and light this up and see what our initial impressions are of this. A lot of people do complain about the taste of lighter fluid in their blend when they do this. I don't go fist deep into my bowl with my Zippo. That cutout allows you to draw the heat down into it without a whole lot of sucking the entire flame and wick into your tobacco bowl. So the initial light tasted like Zippo fluid. I'm just kidding. A delicious black tea, one that I like with a lot of English blends that has just this little essence of orange, which kind of brings me to my next point, which is where I'm begging my YTPC family to jump in here on the comments. On the official write-up, it says adding a mixture of Zimbabwean orange grade. I also see in a lot of descriptions that there is the addition of just orange, like it will say that it has black perique, Cavendish, orange, which is a color, not just a flavor. So is it just orange Virginias? I'm not so inept that I can't use online services either. I did try to figure out, okay, what is Zimbabwean orange grade tobacco? I couldn't find anything. Interesting info on Zimbabwe and how Zimbabwean tobacco, apparently it's the Zimbabwe is the #1 tobacco producer in Africa. And they produce some very orange colored grade Virginia type tobaccos. Anyway, so I don't know if there's supposed to be an orange essence to this. I can say so far nothing, but the bowl is just heating up. Was kind of thinking maybe where there is just this little bit of orange zest in this tea flavoring, that if there is something to be found here that it might help pull it out. I don't know. There is supposed to be some sort of a uniqueness to this blend in the sense that there's burley from Thailand in here. I don't know what burley from Thailand is supposed to really be. That part I have not gotten into, but there's burley from Thailand, and there's some interesting African leaves in here too. So I don't know if it's just the fact that there is a little bit of a difference in this as far as where things are coming from, how they're grown. We all know that can definitely lend to a unique smoking experience. When we sip these blends that have so many different ways of being cured and grown and climate and everything else, you don't really have to be a tobacconist snob to notice the difference. It's there. If you've been sipping pipe for any time, you're gonna notice these subtleties. So I think that's where this is coming off as something a little more unique than just my average Virginia Perique style blend. I do get that sweet dry grass type of flavor from this as well. The Perique is really on a honey spot for me with this. I like this level of Perique very much. I love to retrohale to get as much of the flavor as I can into my brain. And I like that little bit of zest, but a lot of times the Perique is just a bit of a sting, a little bit of a burn, and it kind of will short your mind into that, and you kind of skip over some of the other subtleties that might be there to find. But that doesn't happen. Very well balanced as far as the Perique goes. Now, as far as the whole cured in the sherry oak barrel component of this, I mean, yeah, this I think does have I don't detect an oakiness to this. I like Scotch. I like peaty, oaky kind of flavors. I don't know. I mean, maybe. If that is there, though, if it's there, it's light. But there is something that's like a smooth. There is something there that I think is coming from that being cured in the sherry oak barrel. I think there's a smoothness to this flavor. There's something that's there that's not tobacco. I don't know if this is making sense. There's something there, and I think that's something there about how this is all married. It has to do with the fact that it was cured in those barrels. It makes sense. This morning, like literally about 4 minutes before my daughter had to go out the door to go to school, Dad's a dork, so a lot of science and history is stuck inside my head. That's probably only beneficial. Well, I guess beneficial for the kids, but anyway, didn't have time to really get into where she heard it, but she asked, Dad, is it true that we're still like coming out of a ice age? But then came, well, so is that what global warming is? And so we got into a very interesting lightning round of 4 minutes of history / science / philosophy, really. So I explained to her from what I have most recently read for research, and I try to keep abreast with most of these things. And we have ice core samples and stuff that we have retrieved, and it seems to be the consensus currently in the science domain that yes, this Earth has frozen solid, I believe 3 times. The nickname is Snowball Earth. And yes, technically, since the last ice age, we have continuously been warming up, melting off. That has not stopped. Been quite a lengthy process. But then so came the question, well, then is it us or is it just nature? And I said, well, hon, it's a bit of both. We're part of nature too. But I said, we have this odd proclivity to want to insert ourselves into problems, to manifest them implicitly and figure out, well, what can we do to take this chaos that we have no control over under our control? So I told her, whether you're sacrificing fossil fuels to appease the global warming gods, or if you're throwing the most beautiful virgin in your community into a volcano to appease the volcano gods so it doesn't erupt and kill your community, Whether you're sacrificing bulls before you go off to war to appease the chaos gods that somehow through the wheel of fortune decide if you survive this battle or no, or if your company wins this battle or no. I said, so it's interesting, love, because we've done this for a very long time, since the beginning of human history that we have recorded. If it's scary, out of our control, we feel as though there's something that we can offer up to make it right? If we do poorly, then it's on us if something bad's happening, right? We didn't appease this God, this almost like a religion component to this, and I said, so we see it even without the religious component, without the dogma and religiosity. You can still see this need to inundate our minds, our thoughts, our actions to these unknowns or uncontrollables, or really not unknowns, but more just to the uncontrollables. When there's a lot more in this life that we do not get to control than things that we do, especially in the grand scheme of things. Which is why I love Stoicism. The Stoics realized, stop fettering your mind with all these things that are just bringing you down and damaging you. It comes from that Hellenistic school of philosophy, and it promotes the thought to be calm and rational during times when we are, merging with chaotic events. Focusing on what is and truly in our control, and those things that are not, and pruning off and letting go of those things, and putting our energy into the former, right? What can we do about these things that are, again, rational, right? Objective, rational thought. Not, oh shit, grab a cow and kill it. But we're in a time that's so much more embracing the irrational. Marcus Aurelius had a great quote. It was about not being on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself within the ranks of insanity. Love that quote. It's evident just how similar the society problems of today are repeating. Which is why it's never really a great idea to just try to erase history, because it's not fitting within your little molded framework of And change is nature's delight. I mean, honestly, when has it not been? I mean, it's cruel humor of living this life. That for good or bad. But change must occur. And we have to be cognizant of it and find our place in it. Epictetus has a great view that lends some wisdom to this. And that's that other people's views and problems and troubles can be contagious. So don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly subscribing to and adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your association with such people. Again, marries in well with the Masonic opening charge of that knowledge is obtained by degrees and wisdom dwells with contemplation. Brothers and sisters of the Briar, don't just try to explain your philosophies to the world and press upon them how it is. Embody them. More so than any other time. Now we have to make sure we're doing such things. Don't be blindly optimistic about your beliefs. make sure that they're validated, truly. Try to use your phone for something other than watching 30 minutes of cats doing funny things. I mean, those leisurely times are great, but pick something that's currently controversial that perhaps you've already have very firm convictions upon, or perhaps you just don't want to bother yourself, because there's definitely lots of mixes of how people are going to want to engage in these types of things. I meet many individuals who their approach is, I don't bother with that. I don't watch any of that, or I don't look into any of that. They want to just sit there and stream, binge, watch, and so forth to forget that everything's going crazy. It never does us well to be the ostrich head in the sand approach. It never does us well to hide ourselves in the closet and let the chaos that is currently occurring just unfold. And we'll let the world figure it out. You are the world. We are that. You don't get to omit yourself from this. Think of it along the lines of like technology, right? If you took the best iPhone that's on the market, I'm not really tech savvy, not sure which one that is. I use mine until it doesn't work. Let's go ahead and just, take one of those things, whatever it might be. I actually need another bowl. But if it was actually so high-tech and you put it in a closet and you forgot about it and leave it there for 10 years, let's say, bring it back out of the closet, it's not going to function properly. It might still run, and it's still going to survive, and it's very, very, very well still serve many of its original function. But it will run into problems. And this is why when we have those messages on our phone that say, hey, there's a new update available, and we go ahead and update that, much is the same when it comes to us and the lives around us. You have to update it. You have to be aware of what's going on and make sure that your own personal life is where you need it to be for things to function the way that they need to function. But again, be objective, be calm. Don't let these things pollute who you are. Don't let the things that are chaotic around you make it so you are up all night with worries. Don't give in to that pressure to succumb to the fray, the diseased, the irrational. And the pure absurd, just because it's around us. And again, more so in the last 5 years has this been so relevant. So that's what happens when your 10-year-old daughter asks you a question right before going out the door to school. This is a great blend. I literally had to pack a second bowl while talking. This is that good. I like this a lot. There's no complaints at all that I have with this one. Zip. It is for sure a mild vapor style blend that has not just a little but a lot of extra something. Purely delightful to sip this. And again, is it the orange from Zimbabwe? Is it the sherry oak cask that it's been in? Is it the burley from Thailand? Is it all of them? I really don't know. So great. No tongue bite at all. Though it's early, I did go ahead and grab my Peterson's St. Paddy's Day 2024 pipe. Looking forward to that one. I don't have a wee bit of Irish in me, but I made sure to get the blend that was Irish to make sure that I could sip it in something proper while I did the review. Apologize to anybody who is Irish, because that was probably a horrendous Irish accent, but it was the best I could do. Absolutely recommend, hands down, without a doubt, unequivocally, Peterson's Irish Cask, formerly known as the Irish Oak, is so good. Until our next review, be well and happy sipping.